Hey guys, welcome back to Story Time with Amanda. So today I'm driving home from work, so I'm in the car actually driving, so I won't be totally, staring into the camera and all that, so I'm sorry y'all don't get to see these baby blues today because it's a little bright. But anyways, have I got a story for y'all, so buckle up. Y'all put on your big boy pants and your big girl pants. Pull up your bootstraps. Buckle in, because this is a good one. It's a doozy. So, as many of you know, or you may not know, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. My name's Amanda. If you don't know me already, my name's Amanda. This is Story Time, and this is where I share wild and crazy stories of things that happen to me. If not crazy, it's gonna be something really boring and mundane about me, but people ask, so I figured I might as well put it out there. Today's story does not actually pertain to my personal life. However, I'm sharing it because I thought this is pretty similar to something that did happen to me, and while I can't really divulge a lot of details about that said situation, I figured I could share this one, and that shock y'all feel from this story, then you know how I felt from my own. But anyways, so if you don't know me, you may know me, you may not, I don't know. I'm a single parent. I've got one kiddo, a gorgeous daughter. I think she is literally the shit. She's awesome. She's the best thing that ever happened to me since sliced bread on this planet. Which, by the way, I like wheat bread. Anyway, it's great with peanut butter. But let's move on. So, as a single parent, I tend to befriend and migrate more towards people that are also parents. If they're not single parents, they are parents in general. I don't have a whole lot of friends because, one, busy a lot, trying to be a grown adult and take care of my shit, on top of the fact that my kiddo's in a lot of things, and I work full-time and I run a business full-time of my own, so it's kind of hard. But the few friends I do have, we do have a lot in common. I have married friends that have children. I have single friends that have children. I've got female single parent friends. I've got male single parent friends. I've got, whatever you want to call it, everything under the sun. But I got this one female friend who's also a single parent, and I'm not going to say her name. But we got a lot of similarities in our story. We're both single moms. We both got one kiddo. She's also got a daughter roughly around the same age as mine. Her daughter's dad is also remarried like mine, and happily remarried, and I love his wife, so there's nothing negative with either one of us on that end. We all get along as parents in our situations, so this particular story was kind of like I felt it deep down when she was telling me, and part of me, I felt for her. I felt for her and everybody else that affected it in this story. But let me get to it. So I'm going to tell you the story as if I am her telling me the story, okay? So y'all are going to hear it the same way I heard it. Okay, so I am said friend talking to myself, okay? So we were on the phone the other day, and we were catching up. We hadn't hung out in a while. And she was like, Amanda, she's like, so I met someone, I went on this date, and I have got to tell you this doozy of a story. And I was like, ooh, girl, I need to hear it. So tell me. And she was like, okay, so we're on this date. We go to dinner. Everything is going well. He seems really nice. He's really funny. He makes me laugh, which we all know as adults, being able to make someone laugh is way better than somebody looking really hot, right? Like, don't get me wrong, being hot is great, but that ain't all it's cracked up to be anymore. We've all learned that in our 20s. But anyways, I digress. Back to the story. She's like, he makes me laugh. He's genuinely like a genuine person. He's pretty bubbly, but he's got like a serious side too, and like we can actually conversate and all these things, right? And I'm like, well, that sounds really awesome, like what does he do? So I'm asking him details about him, and she's like, yeah, he does yada yada, and he doesn't have any kids, but he's got nieces and nephews, so he understands, kids, because he's got siblings that have kids and stuff. I was like, okay, that's cool, like not exactly the same, but if he's really involved with family, like it sounds like, then he might kind of understand kids a little bit, right? And she's like, the date's going well, things are going awesome. He had asked her about her and her ex, and why they split up and all that, and all of us, I'm gonna go ahead and say, just from me, and not necessarily from anybody else, but as a single parent, when I'm on a date, we don't want to talk about our exes, to be totally honest, because they're our ex for a reason, right? And it's not that we don't like them, especially if we have children with them. It's not that we don't like them or we don't respect them. It's just, it's never gonna be like we just fell out of love. Like, that's not how it works. Like, if there's a child involved and the parents are no longer together, there was obviously something big enough that could not keep them together, right? Whatever that case may be. And that's not always something we want to discuss with someone on a first or a second date, right? But anyways, it always gets asked. So she's like, so he asked me about him, and I kind of like hemmed and hawed, but I didn't really like beat around the bush. I just told him, yada yada. I was like, yeah, I understand, because it's an awkward question. And I was like, so, how was his last relationships? Because that kind of is where that opens up, right? If I get asked that question, I'm going to ask you. So turnabout's fair play. She's like, well, I asked him about that, and he had just gotten out of a relationship a couple of months ago. And it seemed like it had been very serious. They had been together for quite a while, like over a year. And I was like, okay, that's not a bad thing. Like, okay, let's move on from that. And she's like, that's not what bothered me. She's like, what bothered me is at the end of the night when they were leaving the restaurant, and like he walked her to her car. So like they drove separately to the restaurant, right? And he was being a gentleman and walking her to her car. Now, I do this too, as a female. When I'm walking to my vehicle, I always have my keys in one hand and my phone in the other, because you never know, right? While carrying my purse or whatever. And I guess at some point during the conversation at the car, he asked her to see a picture of her daughter, right? Which, on a first date, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, like, I get it, like, you kind of want to see which kids might possibly look like. Like, I don't know, like, some guys are sensitive enough that they would actually, like, think about those things, okay? So, like, I get it, all right. So he asked to see a picture, and, like, she pulls out a picture, and, I don't know how, like, I don't know why there was a picture with, the ex and his wife and the kids, unless it had her kid in the picture. I don't know. I didn't ask. None of my business. But there was a picture with all of them in it, right? Like on her camera roll, I guess, and he saw it. And anyway, somehow like that got seen, and he asked for her to pull it up. So she did, and lo and behold, he starts talking about the lady in the photo. Now, the lady in the photo is her daughter's stepmom, right? Because it's her daughter. Yeah, I guess her kid was in the picture. That's why it was on her phone. So it was her daughter, her stepmom, her dad, and then her sibling. They have another child. Sibling was in the picture as well. And the guy that she's on this date with recognizes the woman in the picture, which is her stepmom, her kiddo's stepmom. And I was like, okay, you know, and she's like, so Amanda, he asked me to pull the picture up. And of course, you know, the picture's got all 4 of them in it. So I pull up the picture and he's like, how do you know her? And I let him know that that's my daughter's dad and that's her sibling and that's her stepmom. And he was like, so and so, and he names off the stepmom's name. So and so is your kid's step parent. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, why are you questioning this? Like, why is this so weird, right? And that's when he tells me, Amanda, that that's his ex-girlfriend. Now, mind you, okay, so for those of you watching, as Amanda, I'm going to tell you what my reaction was. For one, I immediately gasped on the phone because I was just like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, I know. She said, in that moment, I was like, oh. Well, when did y'all break up? You know, so she's trying to like dig on information, and he's like, we literally just broke up like last summer. And like my heart is pounding, right, y'all? Because I feel like I'm in the middle of a suspense movie and I just got to like the most exciting part of the storyline and they just cliffhangered it, you know? Like, what? I'm sorry, what? Dude, you're on a date with this guy. Okay, let me show you. So you're on a date with this guy. He is telling you a story about his ex, right? He asked to see a photo of your kiddo, which, you know, most people would think was weird, but whatever, right? You know, we're single parents. We're proud of our kids. And he sees a photo on your camera roll of your kid, their dad, their stepmom, and their sibling. And he knows who the stepmom is because that's his ex. What? Like, there are so many levels of where this story becomes an issue, right? Like, for one, do you continue the date? Do you go on another date? Because at this point now I'm like interested. I want details. Like, I want extra information. I got 20,000 questions to be asking this guy, right? And secondly, it's like, do I even want to get involved in this drama? Like, I don't even know if I want to keep up the charade anymore, because this is like a whole other level of screwed up crap, right? And then it's like, you almost feel obligated to say something, you know, because like, here I am, I'm not even involved, right? This is my friend's situation, right? I'm her friend, but I don't know her ex. I don't know her ex's new wife. I don't get involved in that far into the friendship because, one, I'm her friend. Like, I'm gonna always take her side, so I don't care. Secondly, like, I don't need to know the kid's dad in order to treat the kid as my own child when she's in my presence, right? So it's like, do I have an obligation to say anything? You know, because there's a lot of levels of, do I have an obligation to say anything here, right? Like, there's the dad, then there's the stepmom, and then it's like, ooh, like, y'all, like, that got me right in the feels, because I was like, oh, that's scary, you know, because crazy things happen every day, you know. And I thought, oh, Lord have mercy. Have I ever gone on a date with someone that may or may not have known my ex or his wife at some point in time? Like, that would be weird, right? Like, that already just makes it a weird scenario, right? But then, like, ooh, just add in this, like, whole other weird ooh, no. So, I had to share that. Like, whew. Been some doozies of stories lately, so I'm gonna slowly start filming them and telling y'all about it, because it's just, whoa, just much. But anyways, I had to share that. So, mind you, again, it wasn't directly a story related to me. You know, it didn't directly happen to me, but I could relate, so I had to share, right? And my friend did give me permission to share the story as long as I didn't use her name. So I didn't use her name or anybody else's name in that story. So, but yeah, so I will have another story for y'all next time. It's a doozy as well, so y'all get ready for that one. I got lots of them. Things have been just lately. So in the meantime, y'all try to retain your sanity. Spread kindness like glitter, and don't be a grown man bully. All right, like, just don't. So y'all have a good one. Bye.